I was 7 when I realized I'd lost. David was 9. We were at his elementary school talent show. He'd built some kind of volcano for the science fair, baking soda and vinegar. The whole basic setup, but he'd somehow turned it into this elaborate presentation about geological formations. The judges ate it up. Mom was in the front row, recording everything on her camcorder. Dad was beside her, beaming. When David won first place, she actually stood up and cheered. Full-on standing ovation for a kid's science project. 2 weeks later, I had my own school event, art showcase. I'd spent a month on a painting of our family dog, Rex. It was actually pretty good for a 7-year-old. I'd captured the way his ear flopped over, the exact brown of his eyes. Mom came late. She sat in the back. She clapped politely when my teacher praised it. On the drive home, she said, "That's nice, honey. Did you finish your math homework?" That's when I knew David was the investment. I was the tax write-off. It continued for 23 more years. David made honor roll. I made art. David got into Cornell. I got into community college, then transferred to a state school for their art program. David graduated summa cum laude. I graduated with a BFA and $60,000 in student loans. David got recruited by Goldman Sachs. I got a job at a frame shop to pay rent while I painted at night. David married Jennifer, a marketing executive with perfect teeth and a trust fund. I dated a series of fellow artists who were all finding themselves and usually found themselves in someone else's bed. David bought a house in Westchester. I rented a 1-bedroom in Brooklyn that smelled like the Chinese restaurant downstairs. And Mom had her narrative. David was her success story. I was her cautionary tale. At family dinners, she'd introduce us like this. "This is David. He's a VP at Chase. And this is Alex. He's still figuring things out." I was 30 years old, still figuring things out. 3 weeks ago, my landlord raised my rent. Again, $200 more per month, starting immediately. I was already behind on my studio space rental. My electricity bill was 2 months overdue. I had $847 in my checking account and a credit card that was maxed out at $15,000. I'd sold exactly 3 paintings in the last year. Total earnings, $2,400 before commission to the gallery. I was eating instant ramen and peanut butter sandwiches. I was 30 years old and I was doing worse than I did in college. My best friend Marcus, also an artist, had just given up. He'd taken a job at an advertising agency. "I'm done being poor for my principles," he told me over beers I couldn't afford. "You should be too," but I couldn't quit because quitting meant admitting Mom was right. So instead, I did something I swore I'd never do. I called her. "Mom, I was thinking about visiting. It's been a while." "Oh," she sounded surprised. "Well, okay. When? Maybe this weekend? David and Jennifer are coming for dinner on Saturday. I could come Sunday then." "Fine. Yes, come Sunday." "No, I miss you." "No, I'd love to see you. Just fine." I packed a bag and drove the 3 hours to Connecticut in my 2008 Honda Civic that made concerning noises above 60 miles per hour. Mom's house was exactly as I remembered. Immaculate. Everything in its place. Photos of David everywhere. Graduation photos, wedding photos, him shaking hands with someone important at some important event. There was one photo of me, my college graduation. I was in the back, partially hidden by a plant. "You look tired," Mom said when I arrived. "Thanks. Great to see you too. Don't be sensitive. I'm just observing. Are you eating?" "Yes, Mom, I'm eating." "Because you look thin and you have dark circles." "I've been working a lot." "On what? Your paintings?" The way she said paintings, like it was a hobby, like I was still 7 years old with finger paints. "Yes, on my paintings." She sighed, that signature sigh. The one that said everything she didn't. Disappointment. "Why can't you be more like your brother? When will you grow up?" "Well, dinner's at 6. I made pot roast." I went to my old bedroom. It had been converted into a guest room years ago. No traces of my childhood remained. David's room, meanwhile, was kept like a shrine. His high school trophies still on the shelves. His college pennant still on the wall. I lay on the guest bed and stared at the ceiling and wondered what the hell I was doing with my life. Dinner was excruciating. Mom spent the entire meal talking about David, David's promotion, David's lake house, David's vacation to the Maldives, David's wife's pregnancy announcement they were thinking about trying. "He's doing so well," she said, cutting her pot roast with surgical precision. "So well. We're very proud." "That's great," I said. His bonus this year was obscene. Just obscene. 6 figures. Wow. Jennifer's firm is doing well too. They just landed some huge account. Apple, I think, or Google. One of those. Cool. They're very happy. Very successful. Very settled. I got the subtext. "Unlike you." "What about you?" she asked, and I could tell she was asking out of obligation, not interest. "How's the art thing going?" "It's going." "Are you selling anything?" "Some pieces, here and there. Enough to live on?" "I'm managing." Another sigh. "Alex, you're 30. You can't manage forever. You need stability, health insurance, a retirement plan." "I have health insurance." "I didn't. I was on a catastrophic plan that basically covered nothing." "What about retirement?" "I'm working on it." David started his 401k when he was 22. Of course he did. Don't be bitter. It's not attractive. I excused myself, went to the bathroom, splashed cold water on my face, and looked at myself in the mirror. I looked exactly how I felt, exhausted, broke, and defeated. When I came back out, Mom was in the living room talking on the phone. Yes, David. Uh-huh. That's wonderful. So proud of you, honey. I stood in the doorway, invisible. The next morning, I needed to mail something. A gallery had requested slides of my work, actual physical slides, because apparently they were stuck in 1995 and I needed a stamp. Mom was out. She'd gone to her book club. I went into her home office to look for stamps. Her desk was organized chaos. Bills in one pile, correspondence in another. Her checkbook was open, lying flat on the desk. I wasn't snooping. I swear I wasn't. But it was right there. A check, already filled out. The ink still looked wet. Pay to the order of David Allen. Amount, $50,000. Memo, just because. We're so proud. $50,000. Just because. I read it 3 times. My vision literally blurred. $50,000. Just because. Because he's successful. Because he's the good son. Because he's David. I thought about my studio rent. $800 per month. 2 months behind. I thought about my electricity bill. My car insurance. My student loans. The credit card I'd used to buy art supplies that I couldn't afford. I thought about eating ramen for dinner last night because it was all I had. $50,000. Just because. Something in me snapped. I didn't think. That's important. I didn't plan it. I didn't weigh the consequences. I just tore the check out of the checkbook. The perforated edge ripped clean. The check came free. I folded it once, then twice. I put it in my pocket. My hands were shaking. My heart was hammering. What had I just done? I couldn't cash it, obviously. It was made out to David. Even if I wanted to commit actual fraud, which I didn't. Banks have systems. They check these things. So why did I take it? Spite. Pure, distilled spite. I wanted to take something from David. Just once. I wanted him to not get the thing he didn't need. The extra thing. The just because thing. Would Mom even notice? Probably not immediately. She'd think she'd mailed it or David had picked it up. By the time she figured it out, I'd be gone. What? Keep it as some kind of trophy? Proof that I'd finally done something? God, I was pathetic. I barely slept that night. The check was in my jeans pocket on the chair next to the guest bed. I kept staring at it in the dark, this rectangular shape visible through the denim. What was I going to do with it? I couldn't keep it. That was insane. I couldn't cash it. That was illegal. I had to put it back. But how? Mom would notice it was missing from the checkbook sequence. She'd ask questions. I could tear it up, make it disappear. But then David would never get his just because money. And while that felt good in theory, it was still stealing from my brother, who, despite everything, had never actually been mean to me. David wasn't the problem. Mom was. No, that wasn't fair either. I was the problem. I was the one who couldn't make my art profitable. I was the one who'd chosen this path. I was the one who was 30 and broke and sleeping in my mother's guest room. This was on me. At 3 a.m., I decided I'd put the check back in the morning. I'd slip it back into the checkbook. If Mom noticed it was out of order, I'd plead ignorance. She'd assume she'd made a mistake. Simple, clean, no harm done. I finally fell asleep around 4 a.m. I woke up at 9 to my phone buzzing. A text from the gallery. Still waiting on those slides. Need them by end of week, or we're moving on to another artist. Great. Perfect. Another opportunity slipping away. I got up. I needed to shower, get those slides packaged, and get the hell out of Mom's house before I did anything else stupid. I grabbed clean clothes from my bag, left my jeans with the check still in the pocket on the desk chair. The shower was hot. I stood under it for 20 minutes, trying to wash away the guilt and shame and anger that had been building for 30 years. When I got out, towel wrapped around my waist, I heard something. Crying. Mom's voice. In the guest room, my blood went cold. I walked into the room, water still dripping from my hair. Mom was standing at the desk. My jeans were in her hand. The check was in her other hand. She was crying. Not angry crying, not disappointed crying, happy crying. Mom, I started. She looked up. Her face was red and blotchy, but she was smiling, beaming. Oh, Alex. She rushed forward and hugged me so hard I nearly lost my towel. Oh, my baby boy. I stood there, frozen, confused, dripping water onto her cardigan. I'm so proud of you, she sobbed. So proud. What are you talking about? She pulled back, holding up the check like it was a trophy. This. I knew you could do it. I knew it. I looked at the check, at her face, at the check again. She hadn't looked at the pay to line. She'd just seen the amount. Wu wan megan. She thought it was mine. Mom, I need to explain. No. She put a hand on my bare chest. No, don't you dare be modest right now. Not after everything you've been through. $50,000, Alex. For a painting. Mom, which one was it? Was it one of those abstract pieces you showed me last year? Or was it something new? Tell me everything. My mouth opened. Nothing came out. She was looking at me the way she looked at David. With pride. With respect. With love that wasn't conditional. I know I've been hard on you, she continued, her voice breaking. I know I didn't understand. Art seemed so uncertain, so risky. But this, she shook the check. This I understand. $50,000. That's real. That's success. Mom, you're not a failure, Alex. You never were. You were an investment that took longer to mature. But you did it. You really did it. She hugged me again. Over her shoulder, I could see the check. David's name. Right there. Clear as day. She hadn't seen it. She'd seen what she wanted to see. Proof that her son was finally worth something. I should have told her right then. Right there, in that moment. Mom, this isn't my check. This is for David. I took it because I was angry and stupid, and it was a terrible idea. But I didn't. Because for the first time in 30 years, my mother was proud of me. She was looking at me like I mattered. Like I'd done something worthwhile. Like I was worth her time and attention and love. I'd spent my entire life chasing this feeling, this moment, and now that I had it, I couldn't let it go. Even though it was based on a lie. Even though I'd stolen it. Even though it was David's. Yeah, I heard myself say. Yeah, I sold a piece to a collector in Manhattan. He really loved my work. The lie came out smooth, easy, like I'd been practicing. Mom's face lit up even more. I need to call your father. He's going to be so happy. And David. Oh, David will be thrilled for you. David. Right. David, who was expecting a $50,000 check from Mom. Don't, I said quickly. Don't call anyone yet. I haven't deposited it yet. I want to. I want to celebrate properly first. You know, savor the moment. She nodded, wiping her eyes. Of course. Of course. This is your moment. Oh, Alex, I'm so sorry I doubted you. It's okay. No, it's not okay. I should have believed in you. I should have supported you. I was so focused on conventional success, on the path David took, I didn't see that you were on your own path. A different path, but a good one. I felt sick. Mom, we should celebrate. Dinner. Let me take you to dinner. Anywhere you want. I need to get dressed. Yes, of course. Get dressed. We'll go somewhere nice. My treat. Oh, Alex. She hugged me one more time and then practically skipped out of the room. I stood there, dripping, holding a stolen check, having just lied to my mother's face. And she loved me for it. I got dressed in a daze, put on my least paint-stained jeans, a button-up shirt I'd brought for some reason. I looked at myself in the mirror. I looked like a fraud. Because I was a fraud. I went downstairs. Mom was on the phone in the kitchen, her voice bright and happy. I know. I'm so proud. Yes, I'll tell him you called. She hung up. That was your Aunt Marie. I had to tell someone. She's so happy for you. Mom, you said you wouldn't tell anyone. I know. But Marie doesn't count. She's family. She grabbed her purse. Come on, let's go. I'm thinking that Italian place you used to love. Giovanni's. Is it still there? Yeah, I think so. We drove in her pristine Lexus. She wouldn't stop talking about how she always knew I had talent, how she always believed in me, how she couldn't wait to see my work in galleries. Every word was a knife. At the restaurant, she ordered wine. Expensive wine. We're celebrating, she told the waiter. My son just sold a painting for $50,000. The waiter looked impressed. Congratulations, sir. I wanted to crawl under the table. Over pasta I couldn't taste. Mom asked me everything. Who was the collector? What did he look like? What would he do with the painting? Where would it hang? I made it all up. Every detail. I'd gotten good at lying in the last 2 hours. His name is Robert Hutchinson. He's a hedge fund guy. Made his money in tech. He's starting an art collection. Contemporary pieces. He saw my work at a group show in Chelsea. Which gallery? I named one I'd walked past once. Morrison Gallery. I'll have to visit. See your work hanging there. They might have taken it down already. It was just a temporary show. Oh well. Still, I'm so proud. She reached across the table and grabbed my hand. Her eyes were wet again. Alex, I need to apologize. Really apologize. I've been awful to you. Comparing you to David. Making you feel like you weren't enough. It's just, I was scared. Art is so uncertain. I didn't want you to struggle. I know, Mom, but you didn't struggle, did you? You persevered. You kept going. And now look, $50,000. That's more than David made at his first job out of college. I felt worse with every word. I'm going to tell everyone, she continued. The book club, the neighbors, everyone. My son, the successful artist. Can we maybe not tell everyone? I'm pretty private about my work. Nonsense. You should be proud. You earned this. I hadn't earned anything. I'd stolen it. We got back to the house around 8 p.m. I was exhausted from lying. My phone buzzed. David, I should take this, I said. Of course. Alex, tell him the good news. I stepped outside, answered, Hey, Alex. Mom said you're visiting. How's it going? It's going. Good. Listen, random question. Did Mom happen to mention anything about a check? She said she was sending me something, but I haven't gotten it yet. My stomach dropped. A check? Yeah, for some money she wanted to give me. For the lake house. I told her she didn't need to, but you know Mom, she insisted. $50,000. For a lake house. He already had everything, and he was getting more. Haven't seen anything, I lied. Again, weird. Maybe it got lost in the mail. I'll call her tomorrow and check. Anyway, how are you doing? Mom said you're still doing the art thing. Yeah, still doing it. That's cool, man. I admire that. Following your passion. I'm trapped in finance hell, making money I don't need for a life I'm not sure I want. I blinked. What? Nothing. Never mind. I've been drinking. Ignore me. Anyway, good talking to you. Let's catch up properly soon, yeah? Yeah, sure. He hung up. I stood there in Mom's driveway, under the streetlights, realizing something horrible. David wasn't happy. Despite everything, the money, the success, the perfect life, he wasn't happy. And I'd just stolen from him. I went back inside. Mom was in the living room, looking at her phone. She looked up when I entered. I just texted David, she said. Told him your good news. He's so happy for you. You told him? Of course. He's your brother. He wanted to call you, but I said you were probably busy celebrating. He said to tell you congratulations. My phone buzzed. David. Dude, that's amazing. $50K for a painting? You're killing it. So proud of you, little bro. I felt like I was going to throw up. Mom, I need to tell you something. She looked up, smiling. What is it, honey? The words wouldn't come. I tried. I really tried. But looking at her face, happy, proud, loving, I couldn't do it. Nothing. Never mind. I'm really tired. I think I'm going to bed. Of course. It's been a big day. My successful artist's son needs his rest. She kissed my forehead, like I was 7 again. I love you, Alex. I'm so proud of you. I love you too, Mom. I went upstairs. The check was on the desk where Mom had left it. David's name stared at me like an accusation. I had to fix this. Somehow. But how? I didn't sleep. Again. At 2 a.m., I made a decision. I'd tell David the truth. Everything. He'd understand. He had to. He was my brother. I'd tell him I took the check out of anger and spite, that Mom found it and thought it was mine, that I'd lied to her because I was weak and desperate for her approval. I'd give him the check back. He could pretend to Mom that I'd paid him for something alone, maybe to explain why he had a check made out to him for $50,000. It was messy, but it might work. At 7 a.m., I texted David, can we talk? In person? It's important. He responded immediately. Everything okay? Yeah. Just, can you come by Mom's today? I have meetings all morning, but I can do lunch. 12:30? Perfect. I spent the morning in agony. Mom made breakfast pancakes, my favorite, and kept talking about my career and how she couldn't wait to see what I did next. You should have a show, she said. A real show. I could help fund it. An investment in my son's career. That's not necessary. Nonsense. It's the least I can do. After all those years of not supporting you properly. Every word was torture. David arrived at 12:15. He looked good. Expensive suit. Nice watch. Hair perfectly styled. He hugged me. Hey man, congrats on the sale. That's incredible. Yeah, about that. We need to talk. Okay. I pulled him outside, away from Mom. We sat in his car, a BMW, because of course it was. And I told him everything. The whole thing. Finding the check. Taking it. Mom finding it. The misunderstanding. The lie. All of it. David listened without interrupting. His face was unreadable. When I finished, he was quiet for a long moment. So let me get this straight, he finally said. You stole a check meant for me? Mom found it and thought you'd sold a painting for $50,000? And you've been lying to her for 24 hours? Yes. Jesus, Alex. I know. I'm sorry. I'll give you the check. You can explain to Mom that it was yours all along. She'll hate me again. But that's fine. That's normal. At least it'll be the truth. David ran his hand through his hair. You really think Mom will hate you? Probably. Yeah. You're an idiot. I know. No. I mean, you're really an idiot. He turned to look at me. Don't you see? Mom doesn't care about the money. She cares about success, about achievement, about you doing something she can brag about to her friends. I know that. So keep lying. I stared at him. What? Keep lying, David repeated. Don't tell her the truth. Are you insane? Listen to me. Mom's been on your case your entire life because she didn't see value in what you were doing. Now she does. Because of a number, a dollar amount. It's stupid and shallow, but that's who she is. But it's your money. I don't need the money, Alex. I really don't. The lake house is paid for. Jennifer and I are fine. More than fine. That $50,000 was just Mom being Mom. Throwing money at the kid who already has money. But you need this, David said, and his voice was suddenly intense. You need her to see you as successful. You need her approval. You've been chasing it your whole life. Well, here it is. Take it. I can't just take $50,000 from you. You're not taking it from me. You're taking it from Mom's checking account, which technically you already did. I'm just saying, don't give it back. I shook my head. This is crazy. Is it? Or is it the first smart thing you've done in years? I can't cash it. It's made out to you. David smiled. So we'll go to my bank. I'll endorse it to you. Sign it over. It's legal. Then you deposit it in your account. Mom never needs to know it was originally meant for me. Why would you do this? He looked out the windshield. Because I'm tired of being the golden child. I'm tired of Mom throwing money at me like it's love. I'm tired of being the measuring stick she uses to beat you with. He turned back to me. And because you're my brother. And for once, I can actually help you. We went to David's bank. He endorsed the check over to me. The teller barely blinked. Just sign here, Mr. Vance. And here, Mr. Vance. It was done in 5 minutes. I had a check for $50,000 in my pocket. Made out to me, legally mine. Deposit it, David said. Pay off your debts. Get your studio rent current. Buy some decent food. And for God's sake, fix your car. That noise it makes is concerning. I don't know what to say. Say thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Now come on. We need to go back and have lunch with Mom and pretend this never happened. How are you going to explain not getting her check? I'll tell her I did get it, that I deposited it already. She's not going to ask for a receipt. She doesn't care about the mechanics. She cares about the gesture. We drove back separately. I sat in my Honda, check in my pocket, feeling completely surreal. My phone buzzed. David, don't waste this. Actually make something of your art. Make this lie true. Lunch was weird. Mom was in full celebration mode. She'd invited Aunt Marie over, and Mrs. Patterson from next door, and her friend, Susan, from book club. My son sold a painting for $50,000, she announced to all of them. They oohed and ahed appropriately, asked questions. I answered with the same lies I'd told before. David sat across from me, eating his sandwich, catching my eye occasionally and giving me small, reassuring nods. After everyone left, Mom pulled me aside. I want to see more of your work. Do you have photos? A website? I should probably update my website. Do it. I want to show everyone. I'm so proud of you, Alex. So proud. She kissed my cheek and went to clean up. David caught me in the hallway. You okay? I think so. This is insane. Welcome to the family business. Keeping up appearances. Is that what you've been doing all these years? He shrugged. What do you think? You think I actually love finance? I wanted to be a teacher, high school history, but Mom had other ideas, and I was good at math. So, he trailed off. Anyway, you've got your money. Use it wisely. I will. Thank you. Really. Don't thank me. Just don't disappoint her. She's finally happy with you. Don't waste it. I drove back to Brooklyn the next morning, stopped at my bank, deposited the check. The balance update took 2 business days. On Wednesday, I logged into my account and saw it. $50,847.32. The check had cleared. I sat at my kitchen table and cried. Then I started making a list. Studio rent, $1,6. 2 months. Electricity, $287. Credit card, $15,000. Art supplies, $2,000. Car repère, $800. Food that isn't ramen, $300. What remained? $30,860.32. For the first time in years, I could breathe. But David's text haunted me. Make this lie true. I couldn't just take the money and coast. I had to actually succeed. I had to become the artist Mom now thought I was. I started painting like my life depended on it. Because, in a way, it did. I worked 12-hour days, 14-hour days. I stopped going out, stopped drinking, stopped doing anything that wasn't work. I created a series, 10 large canvases, all connected, all exploring the theme of identity and expectation and the space between who we are and who we're supposed to be. I titled it Inheritance. I shot professional photos, updated my website, reached out to galleries I'd been too scared to approach before, and something clicked. Morrison Gallery, the gallery I'd made up in my lie, actually responded. We'd love to see your work in person. I brought them the series. The curator, a woman named Angela, walked through the pieces slowly, silently. Finally, she turned to me. These are good, really good. When can we show them? Are you serious? Dead serious. We have a slot opening up in 3 months. Group show. We'll take 5 of these, maybe all 10 if we can make the space work. I floated out of that gallery. The show opened on a Friday night in October. Mom came, Dad came, David and Jennifer came. Mom walked through the gallery with tears in her eyes. Oh, Alex, these are beautiful, truly really beautiful. Thanks, Mom. I knew you had it in you. I always knew. I didn't correct her. Angela came over. Alex, I want to introduce you to someone. This is Marcus Delacroix. He's a collector. An actual collector. Not made up Robert Hutchinson. A real person. Your work is striking, Marcus said. Very emotional. Very raw. I'd like to purchase 3 of the pieces. Really? Let's talk pricing. We talked pricing. He bought 3 paintings for $28,000 total. I'd actually done it. I'd actually sold my work for real money. That night, after the opening, I called David. Hey, how'd it go? I sold 3 paintings for $28,000. No shit. He laughed. See, I told you. You just needed a push and some financial stability. I couldn't have done this without you. The money, the time it bought me, the ability to actually focus on work instead of survival. That's what the money was for. Mom's money. It was supposed to help someone. I'm glad it actually did. Does she know about what we did? No. And she doesn't need to. As far as she's concerned, you sold a painting to Robert Hutchinson for $50,000, and now you're selling more paintings to other people. The story holds. Thank you, David, for everything. You're welcome. Now go celebrate. You earned it. Thanksgiving came. The whole family gathered at Mom's. David and Jennifer, me, Aunt Marie, a few cousins. Mom made a toast. I'm thankful for my boys, both of them. David, for his continued success, and for making us so proud. And Alex, for proving that following your passion can lead to real achievement. I'm sorry it took me so long to see it. I looked at David. He raised his glass slightly, a silent acknowledgement. The lie had become truth. I was a successful artist, not because of the lie, but because the lie had given me the space to actually become one. 2 weeks after Thanksgiving, Angela called. Alex, I have news. The series sold. All of it. Morrison Gallery wants to offer you a solo show next fall. A solo show? Full exhibition. Your own space. Your own opening. We think you're ready. I was ready. For the first time in my life, I actually felt ready. It's been a year since I stole that check. I've had 2 more shows. Sold 17 paintings. Made enough to move into a better apartment and buy a reliable car. Mom calls me once a week now. Asks about my work. Tells her friends about me. Introduces me as my son, the artist, with pride in her voice. David and I have lunch once a month. We never talk about what happened. We don't need to. Sometimes I think about coming clean, telling Mom the truth, but then I realize, which truth? The truth that I stole a check? That I lied to her face? That her pride was built on deception? Or the truth that I took that deception and turned it into something real? That I used borrowed money and borrowed faith to actually become the person she thought I was? I don't know which truth is more important. What I do know is this. I'm not the same person who stole that check. That guy was desperate and angry and drowning. I'm still an artist. I still have debt. I still struggle sometimes. But now, when my mom looks at me, she sees me, not David's shadow, not her disappointment, just me. And maybe that's worth a lie, or maybe it's not. I guess I'll never know, but I do know this. I've sold 9 paintings in the last 3 months. Total earnings, $47,000. Almost enough to pay David back. Almost enough to make the lie true. Almost enough to earn the pride she gave me before I deserved it. Almost.